Good evening. It's Natalie Gramley. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Reading, Pennsylvania, and it is July 11th at 7 p.m. And I have a great fun project for you today. One of the things that I love to do is kind of look to see how you can use the things that you already have in different ways. And so what we're going to do tonight is we're going to look at the nesting dies that we have and how you can make frames out of them and use them in your card making. So I'm going to take you down to the desktop and we are going to make some cards, and I'm going to show you the dies that you can use for this technique. All right, so give me one sec. I need to plug in so that I can make sure I don't run out of battery. And I am going to show you our annual catalog. And in the back of our annual catalog, we have all of our dies. So, the Stitch So Sweetly dies, the stitched triangles, the tailor-made tags, the stitched rectangles, and some of the ornate layers and the layering circles. All of these are nesting dies, which means that they are consecutive, and you can use them to make different size frames. Hi, Heather. So what I'm going to show you is how we cut the dies to make frames and how you can use them in your card making. So I'm going to take this is our machine that you can use. It folds up. It's called a stamping cut and emboss machine. Okay, this is our big one, and actually, you know what, I'm going to take our mini cut and emboss because I can use it and it will fit better. It will fit better on the screen. So this is the little one. This is our baby boss, and so it unfolds, so it is real compact, and then it has different cutting plates and platforms. So the number 1 is your platform, the 2s are your cutting plates, 3 is used for embossing folders, and 4 is used for embossing folders. So there are 2 different kinds of embossing folders, thicknesses, so you will use different ones. But we're going to use the cutting plates. So I'm going to put the number 1 platform and the die in here, and then I'm going to show you. These are the layering circles dies. These are those stitched rectangles. And these are the scalloped contour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 of the consecutive dies from the scalloped contour, and they fit on the mini emboss machine. And I'm going to take some paper, and I'm going to cut it so it fits in the machine. Give me one second. All right, so I'm going to take and sandwich it in between the 2 number 2s, and I'm going to put it, I don't know if you can see, there's a ridge there. It's not sharp to cut your hands, but with pressure, it will cut the paper. So we're going to layer this, and I'm going to put these consecutive dies down, and I am going to nest them so that they are even the whole way around. Now, there's a trick to this. You want to put this down and hold it real tight so they don't move, or you can put a Post-it note across this or some washi tape so it doesn't move. But normally I'm too much in a hurry, so I don't put the tape on, but you can. And so you're just going to roll this in. And it's difficult to do at this angle, so bear with me. And the pressure from those rollers will cut that paper. So we're going to take this apart, and normally if you used just this one die here, the larger one, you would get that piece right there, the whole piece. But what I did was when I layered them, I actually get a frame. So we are going to use that frame. Hi, Mary. We're going to use that frame in making cards today. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some of the things that I've cut up already and some of the ways that I'm going to use them. So I'm going to take some Misty Moonlight, and what I did was I took my scalloped circle die and I cut a square piece, and let me line it up so I can show you. So what I did was I took 2 circles, consecutive circles, onto, yep, it does go in there, I promise. I just have to get it right. Okay, there you go. So that was the paper when it was all in one piece, and I took consecutive scalloped edge circles from the layering circles dies. So I took these 2 right here and I laid them on the paper, equidistant, and then what ends up happening is you end up getting 3 pieces. So I'm going to use all 3 of these pieces to make a card. So the first card that I'm going to make, I'm going to take this frame. Okay, and so I am going to take some pieces and I'm going to take that frame and I'm going to put some tape on it, and I'm going to put it in the center of a card. Now I started with just a plain piece of 5.5 by 8.5, and as I was setting it up today, I decided that it was a little too plain. So I went ahead and I ran it through the same kind of machine, our big stamp and cut and emboss, with an embossing folder. And I don't know if you can see that, but it's very subtle, and it's a really nice trick to get a little bit of depth and dimension. So I'm going to take, and because this is thin, and you can see some of my tape, I'm going to bend that tape in so that you can't see it. And I'm going to put it here. And then I cut a circle with one of the other layering circles dies, and I'm going to layer that in the center. And then I cut and colored already some of the real pretty flowers from the Color and Contour set, which is one of my favorites. And I'm going to pop one of them up in the center, and I'm going to take the other 2 and I am just going to put them underneath and over. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to stamp with one of the other die cuts from the Scalloped Contours dies. And I'm going to take some black Memento ink. This is also, actually this is from, yes, this is from the Color and Contour set. It's called, it says, "You're Absolutely Amazing." And so I'm going to put that here. And I think I'm going to pop this one up as well. So just a sweet little card, and you have this little frame made of DSP that kind of just makes everything pop because it has a little bit of color and it's got some contour. So that is the first card. Then I have these other two pieces, and I wanted to make a reverse frame. So I'm going to take and flip them so that the color and the flower pattern is not so prevalent and it's a little bit more subtle. And I'm going to take and put that down. And I'm going to take and try and match up where this would go. There you go. And then I'm going to take some of the other dies from the set. And I'm going to layer that over in Highland Heather. So it makes for a fast and easy card, doing those little dies. All right. And then I'm also going to take the same stamp and put it right down below, direct to the paper. Because it's in the black, it's going to stand out. So there you've got two cards from the same die cut. Fun. All right, so then I took another set of the scalloped dies and I cut out consecutive frames or consecutive dies and made a frame. Now I'm going to do that rip and flip, just a flip really because I'm not ripping, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to set that back in with the opposite color, and then you've got just a fun contrasting piece to add to your paper. So I'm going to take, all of this paper is from the Pattern Party, which is a Hostess exclusive set. If anybody is interested in hostessing a workshop, then you would be eligible for this paper, which is very cool. So I'm going to take the black and white, and I'm going to take a 4" by 5 1/4 piece, which will leave you 1/8 of an inch around the whole border. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to inset this into its frame, and I'm actually going to run the tape along both edges. That way it'll stay together for you. I'm going to put it in an angle so you've got interest, and then I'm going to take the words also from the Color and Contour set and one of the flowers die cut. I'm also going to take some of the fresh freesia. This is actually Highland Heather, but I find that the fresh freesia ribbon is highly complementary to that color. So it's a shade lighter and it really looks pretty together, I think. Oops, it moved on me. Okay, so we're going to take and hold that a little bit better. And all right, so there you go. All right, nice frame, adds a little bit to it. All right, so the next one I'm going to do, I actually took the largest frame from the scallop corners and the next size down. Okay, so that's the largest one. Fits really nice on a quarter card, a half sheet of cardstock cut in half and folded is a quarter. So that's a standard card. And what I did was I took two different insets. So I took the scalloped inset from this set, the next one down, and I cut out. And then I also took from the stitched rectangles and I cut out a solid rectangle instead of having two different scallops. So this one's a little bit more dainty, a little fussier with all of the scallops. And this one is not as, because of the rectangle, it gives two totally different looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the same colored paper and see, you could do tone on tone, which would be really cool. But what I'm actually going to do is I am going to take some paper from the Expressions in Ink, which is a specialty designer series paper. It mimics alcohol ink designs and they're just gorgeous. They have come back in stock, which is very cool because they were back ordered because they were so popular. So they are back in stock. Mary, I'm going to be getting you yours as soon as it comes in. I ordered it last night. So this will go on the card. This is a 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put it right on the card. And then I'm going to put this, and I'm going to take my mat, my silicone mat, so that I don't get tape on my surface. And then I just bend these over if they come out around, because this is in some places smaller than the tape itself. So I bend it back. And then I'm going to put it on the designer series paper. Which makes a really cool frame. And then I'm going to take, and I cut out from gold paper, gold foil, sorry. And I'm not going to take all of the little pieces out. I just want to accent that gold. And then I took and I made Happy Birthday from the art gallery set, which was, I wanted something to fit into that little space. And I popped it up. So another fun frame to work with for the card. Then I'm going to take that other frame that is the same but a little bit more tailored, and I'm going to take the fresh freesia paper, and I'm going to bring back that silicone mat, flip this over, put tape on this, And I look like I did a better job there of not getting it over. All right. So I'm going to take and put this directly onto the paper, hopefully equidistant. And then I'm going to take the inside cut that I used from, I took two pieces of, I took a designer series paper, and I took two of the stitched rectangles, and I didn't use consecutive. I used actually the largest and the third one in, so that it created a more wide frame. And so I'm going to use that frame in the next card, but I'm going to take, nothing goes to waste, I'm going to take this inset paper, and you could either do that or this, but I want the flowers. So we're going to take and put this inside and inset it into the frame. And I'm going to take and pop up I stamped a flower. And you can see I was recycling, so I'm using paper that I was drawing on and making some notes. So nobody will see the other side, right? Okay, so I'm going to put this down at the bottom, and I'm going to take and pop up the sentiment. This is actually from Petal, oh my gosh. What was, I'm totally blanking on the name of that set. Yeah, it'll come to me. Anyway, this one is from the Color and Contour. And I'm going to put it up here. And then this one is from Hand Penned Petals. So the paper and the image are from the Hand Penned Petals. And then you can actually take and, if it bothers you, because that's going to be shiny back there, you could actually have done it with the Tombow Multi liquid glue, and it wouldn't show through. But I was in a hurry, so I was just doing tape. All right, so the last one, the frame, I'm going to put tape all along the outer edge. I'm going to put it on some Highland Heather, which is one of the colors in this DSP. And I'm going to take that Tombow glue and my pad, and I'm going to take one of the really pretty die cuts from the Hand Penned set. I love this die. It looks fabulous in white and black, and you just want to put a little bit of glue. Not too much, because you don't want it to ooze out, although this will dry clear, but you just want a little bit there. And then I'm going to put it and it's pretty forgiving. You can move it, and so I got it a little off of the card, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to take, and I'm going to take, if I can find it, that happy birthday sentiment. If you saw my desk, you would know why I can't find it. And I'm going to go ahead and just use the "You Are Amazing." You're absolutely amazing. A little off kilter there. Let's try again. It's hard to do when you're not directly over it. My phone is directly over the surface, so there you go. Little bit better. All right, so we're going to close this up. And we're going to take the pop-up dots. Make sure we get the side that is better centered. And there you go. Frames are an interesting way to make the card have a little bit more character. So, and it's a nice way to utilize your dies in a different way. So I hope that you enjoyed this presentation. I will be having class at the end of the month if anyone is interested, and we'll be doing August 1st. The new catalog comes out, August through December catalog, and I will be doing paper shares, and I'll also be doing a ribbon share, thanks to Mary for suggesting it. So more information will come on the Facebook page about those. So if anybody needs anything, please let me know. I'd be happy to send you the new catalog, and I will get them in the coming days. So I'm excited for the new one. It's really, really nice. And I have a lot of samples to show you. So I hope to see you soon. Have a great evening. Thank you so much.